What's going on, fellow gamblers? Welcome back to Straight Betting. NFL Week 6 is here already, which is insane. Feels like the season literally just started yesterday. But anyways, I'm joined here, of course, with my guy, Joel. Joel, how does it feel that it's Week 6 already?
Crazy, dude. A third of the way through the year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that makes me sick because I hate when football's not on the TV. My life's just better when football's on the TV.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's depressing. Plus, like, the Browns are 1-4. That's also depressing. So, but yeah, at least I have, prop betting to get me through.
Yeah. Agreed, dude. Agreed. It's weird. I love early season NFL, but now we're kind of getting to the point, and I think we're talking about this. It's like props are not as easy to find at this point of the season. Like I think that it's just easier to buy in low. Like the market's like overreacting and so much to like the small sample and stuff, and now it's like they kind of know what to set them at. And I know people like to use like data and stuff, and if you are like a big like data guy to judge a matchup and shit, then it's probably good for you. I know me and you aren't huge on that for football.
Yeah.
I'm just like squaring it up, but
Yeah. I mean, it's so yeah. Just my style of betting is just more built off like predicting roles. I feel like I think me and you are pretty good at predicting like role changes and stuff. And so yeah, like that stuff's gonna dry up a bit. Like especially this week where there was like no injuries last week to like open up guys like in new spots. So you got some guys returning, which is interesting, but overall, like, yeah, like there was like no injuries last week to like really open the board up in that way.
You won money on Thursday night, didn't you?
Yeah, dude, I got so bailed. I had Scatabo over 11.5 receiving yards, and the dude didn't do shit all game. And he had that like late catch for like, I don't know, it was like 8 yards that literally it covered by half a point.
Yeah, well, that's good. I did not. I bet a Wandale under longest reception. I think that was dead in the first drive.
Yeah, that was almost like the first play of the game.
Yeah, and then I had a Barkley touchdown with AJ Brown 30 plus yards. I was like plus like 100 or something at Caesars, and yeah, the Eagles tush pushed 4 straight times, dude. When I saw them tush pushing at the 2-yard line, I was like, you got to be
shitting, dude. It was like that is one of the worst watches too, because like 2 or 3 minutes of your game time is just watching the Eagles line up to just push Jalen Hurts in the fucking ass, and it's just like, dude,
it's a tough watch, dude. Okay, enough talking about Jalen Hurts getting his ass touched. Let's get into some bets, guys. Make sure to drop a like and sub to the channel if you do enjoy this type of content. It is greatly appreciated. I think we've been pretty money. I know we both had profitable weeks last week. Don't exactly know like if the picks were. I would think that they were. Yeah, I think we actually did do pretty good on the show last week. But yeah, guys, make sure to drop a like, sub. And with that being said, Joel, you go first. Hit us with your first prop.
Yeah, let's go to the London game. And I'm going with a gross bet here. I'm playing Josh Reynolds over 16.5 receiving yards. So Garrett Wilson is going to get the shadow treatment here from Pat Surtain. So I think it's a brutal matchup for Garrett Wilson stuff. The Jets likely going to be in a trailing script here, where Justin Fields is going to have to drop back and throw a decent amount. And so the ball has to go somewhere. They've been pretty good against tight ends. And I know Mason Taylor's been like a huge part of that offense so far this year. But, I think this is a good spot for, Josh Reynolds. I mean, it's only going to take 2 balls. He's like a 10 yards per catch guy. And, he has an 18% targets per route run rate this year versus man. Broncos running a ton of it. He ran 77% of the routes last week. Alan Lazard out So, he could even get a bump there up to like 90%. I think that's somewhere where he was in week 1. So I just think this is too low for this matchup.
Look at that elite. Look at those splits. 0.9 yards per route ran against man and only 0.47 against zone. No, I mean, dude, like this is like gross, but like, dude, I'd be lying if I said this wasn't like one of the first props I looked at. Because I mean, yeah, Garrett Wilson's gonna get shadowed by Surtain. Garrett Wilson has like a ceiling of like 60, 65 yards here, in my opinion. And like I said, a ceiling. They should be losing, obviously. And yeah, it's been the thing. Like against man coverage, I mean, Breece Hall, like, is he really gonna do much against man? Running backs typically don't. Maybe he gets an explosive. Are these like tight ends don't typically do well against man unless they're like really good route runners? I don't think that's really Mason Taylor. It's like Josh Reynolds probably should be like second in the pecking order here behind Garrett Wilson. Like who's gonna get his shit clamped. So yeah, I mean 100%, dude. This is a good bet. And honestly, dude, I might join you on it. I also have a pretty greasy bet that like moved against me with the odds. So yeah, dude. So but yeah, I like it, bro. Even like 11.5 longest reception feels pretty good too. Just like he should get like 4 or 5 targets here, dude. And like if he can't get like 17 yards, I mean
this is the probably the grossest bet of the week, but sometimes you got to win dirty. It can't always be sexy,
Yep. There's a 15.5 minus 115 at DK, 16.5 minus 114 at FanDuel too. So good prices on good books. All right, this one moved against me, guys. So judge me. I'm on RJ Harvey over 6.5 rushing attempts. Look, I'm kind of just buying low here. FanDuel stayed the same. It's actually worst price in market. Let's go, dude. I have the worst price in market. But yeah, there's like minus 117 at DK. Like the exchanges have a good line. Yeah, this hit rate's not exactly the prettiest or anything, but I mean, literally just 1 week ago, the rushing attempt split was 14 for Harvey, and then it was I believe 16 for Dobbins, right? And then look, J.K. Dobbins kind of got the hot hand going. I kind of think that just in like such a competitive game, right? Like you're playing the defending Super Bowl champs who are undefeated at the time. I kind of think that they just like, we're like, okay, JK, we trust you. This is your spot. I mean, you're going up against the winless Jets here, 7-point favorites. I kind of think that, we get like some like median, some happy median between the, close to 50-50 split and like the absolute Dobbins, like just dominating it. I think there's going to be plenty of attempts to go around. And I think that it's, say there's like 24 carries to go around. It's like 14-10, maybe like 15-9 or something like that. I think it just kind of like regresses to the mean a little bit here. Like obviously great spot. Jets run defense is not that good either. The Jets should also they should have trouble staying on the field, right? I mean, we just talked about the matchups, right? Like if like the one thing that Jets have going for them is, through the air is Wilson, and he'll probably just get taken out. So if they stop the run, they should be able to get them off the field pretty quick. So yeah, just buying low here on Harvey. What's your thoughts here?
No, I actually love that read because I agree with you. I think it should in games where like it's going to be, the Broncos feel confident leading and, feel confident winning the game. I think RJ Harvey will get a larger split. And I think that's an edge that you can attack in football. And I think you're actually predicting this pretty well right now.
Yeah. So it's like, and I love buying it off of this Eagles game, especially when we've seen it take place in like a comfortable script. And like Harvey and Dobbins were like very close to each other in attempts, like even before like garbage time and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that, RJ Harvey was drafted super early for a running back. He clearly someone they like. I just think that, they just got caught up in the heat of the game. We're like, okay, JK, we're not taking you off the field. We trust you. You're our vet. You're playing good. So
that game was super close too. So it's like, using Harvey in that situation, maybe you're just not there with him yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I 100% see that. I agree 100%.
Sweet. Okay, Joel, hit us with prop number 2.
Prop number 2, let's go with my man Jared Goff on Sunday Night Football. Over 239.5 passing yards against the Chiefs. So I think this is a regression spot in 2 different ways, actually. On Monday night, I said that I think the Chiefs defense is due, the Chiefs run defense specifically is due some regression back to, what they were last year, which was an elite run defense. And I felt pretty vindicated in that one because they shut down Travis Etienne. I mean, he averaged like 4.1 yards per carry. Like they just didn't lose enough personnel on that side of the ball to really take that huge of a step back. I still think the Lions are going to be able to run, but I think this could be one of the more pass heavy scripts for Jared Goff this season. He hasn't thrown a ton, and he, some brutal matchups there too, like the Packers, the Browns. So, I think this is also like an elite regression spot for Jared Goff. Who, I mean, he's only over in 2 out of 5, but if you look over the last 3 seasons, he's hit this like 70% of the time. And then if you take it into games that are decided by like 14 or less, this is a 3.5 point spread, by the way. He's over in like 69% of games, averages like 277 yards. I think it's like 250-ish on the road. I'd probably have this line at like 247.5, 248.5-ish.
Yeah.
Obviously, I think he's better in the dome. Yeah, and then there's all like they're underdogs, so like they could lose this game, which would obviously cause a much more pass heavy script where, he's over in where you see it right there, 8 out of 10.
Yep. And then even in like one score games where they like only win by 1 score or lose too, it's like 17 out of 25. Dude, I like it, bro. I like it. I think that this game's gonna be a shootout. I think that like the Lions like entire secondary is like literally like probably gonna miss the game, which is crazy. So Mahomes, they're gonna be airing it out. It's gonna lead to a lot of like pass volume. Yeah, like I said, I guess the only way that this goes wrong in my opinion is because the KC's run defense has been bad, but I also do agree like they were like really really good last year. So to me, it would be surprising if like under Spags, it's not like they lost their coordinator or anything, that they are just like complete dog shit. And yeah, I'd probably, commit to stopping the run because when Detroit's at their best, it's like play action and run game. So if you can slow down the run game, just make Goff straight drop back, which is obviously good for your bet. I think that's a way to go about it too. So yeah, I think that there's a lot of outs for Goff here. And yeah, the numbers tend to agree. It's like, I mean, he's just had like such few passing attempts, dude. Like, like what is it? 23, 27, 28, 28. Yeah,
and he hasn't needed to in a lot of those games.
No.
So
yeah, no, I'm a fan of that. I actually really like JMO too. I kind of want to buy low on JMO. That's just like my gut talking. Maybe like rushing and receiving yards, 48.5, dude. Don't really hate that.
I mean, he's got to get there eventually.
Yeah. All right, Joel. I really like this one. It's kind of like a weird one. Like my reasoning's kind of weird, but I'm going with Ramondre Stevenson under 44.5 rushing yards. I think this one might have moved against me too, which is gross. But let's see. Where's the Saints versus the Patriots? There we go. Yeah, it looks like it's 45.5 at FanDuel. That's the only book really, but minus 122. So look, dude, fumbles are like so mental. What I think is that like, I think that Stevenson, like, this is just like knowing ball, I guess, but when he's running the ball, he's going to be thinking, don't fumble instead of just like make a play, get as many yards as possible in the back of his, because I've watched this as a Broncos fan firsthand with Melvin Gordon when he like would not stop fumbling. It's like his efficiency like also dropped off a cliff because like you're just in your head like, oh yeah, don't fumble. You're kind of going down earlier. You're like wrapping up and losing shiftiness and stuff. So look, I think that this fumbling issue is going to affect his efficiency. That's the first part of it. Also, after Stevenson's fumble in the early first quarter, he got 6 carries, but that's very misleading because 3 of them were from inside the 10-yard line. He's obviously a short yardage back. Like, who cares, dude? Short yardage situations like are very low yards per carry stuff. And then 3 of them were like the last 3 plays of the game just to like burn the clock and kick a field goal. So he legit did not get like a between the tens carry, like just like in a normal setting after he fumbled. And those are like what those are the attempts you want for rushing yards. You don't want like short yardage stuff. You don't want goal line stuff. You want the like between the 20s stuff. And I just don't think he's gonna get a ton of that, dude. There's no way that they like truly trust him and like are hungry to feed him in that after like what he's done so far. And Saints run defense hasn't really been terrible. I mean, they're 13th lowest yards per carry to running backs, 10th best in EPA per rush, 16th in success rate. I mean, pretty like league average. It's not like they're like the worst in the league or anything. So yeah, man, I think it's I think it's tough to get there, to get Ramondre to like, 11, 12 carries. So definitely lean under here. But yeah, I think that like more than not, he's going to be like 3.5 yards per carry, like until he at least gets out of his head a little bit.
I have a hard time believing that they're gonna trust him a lot here. Like and I've been saying this for multiple weeks. Like I don't see how Travion Henderson doesn't get an expanded workload here. I mean, 3 fumbles that's bad. And especially like if the Patriots are leading and trying to like salt away the game or something, like you probably want to keep it in the hands of the guy who hasn't fumbled.
Yeah.
So I definitely like this look. I think they trust him a lot in pass pro.
They do.
And in the passing game. I'm not sure right now in the rushing game. So I like his receiving stuff a little bit.
Me too.
But yeah, I can also get behind the under.
Yeah, he's absolutely gonna play in short yardage situations and pass down situations. Like Travion's like a really bad pass protector, and Stevenson's actually like very good. So he is absolutely gonna play. And like maybe if he got like a bullshit like draw on like 3rd and 25 where he gets like 15 yards, I could see like that being like a way where this goes under. But yeah, no, like in all seriousness, like if you want to play his receptions at 2.5 or at plus money, I think that's a pretty good look. Same with yards and stuff. But Joel, what's your take on like my mental cap of it, like of him thinking about not fumbling and that affecting efficiency a little bit? Do you think I'm onto something, or do you think that's bullshit?
I think that like players do get like the yips and like get in their head about things. I'm not sure if it'll overall affect his overall efficiency. I'm just not sure. Like he might be straight running two hands on the football from here on out,
Well,
or like he can't even really, or he can, yeah, it definitely would. But like, I mean, I just don't know how he stops fumbling otherwise. Like super loose with the ball. But
another way to win this is if he just fumbles again,
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So
or if they just hand the keys off to Travion, like I don't think that's out of the realm of possibilities here. I don't think Travion's ever going to be like a workhorse, but I could see him being the guy who gets 12, 13 carries here, and Ramaji's getting like 7 and short yardage stuff,
Yeah. I'll probably end up hopping on this, Joel. 10.5 longest rush for Henderson. Dude, I think he gets like 10, 11 carries, and they're all going to be they're all going to be like, they're not going to be like short yardage shit like Ramondre's,
Yep.
So I really like this. And he's obviously, we know he's explosive as hell. So
super explosive.
I really like his longest rush at 10.5. And I'm actually probably going to play this after we're done recording.
That is low. 10.5.
That's really low. It's like, dude, I checked like Hassan Haskins has like a higher longest rush line than
that's insanity.
Okay. Prop number 3 for you, Joel.
All right, let's stick in this game. The dude came absolutely through for me last week. I laddered his receptions all the way up to 8 in the revenge narrative. But I'm fading him in this one. Stephon Diggs under 22.5 longest reception. So honestly, the handicap last week was that his routes were going to jump up a bit. They didn't at all. He ran 61% of the routes. So, I mean, he was just insane on those routes. I think he had like over 50% targets per route run. I can't see that sticking. And he had one single target that game that was deeper than 20 air yards is just like a broken play where Drake May rolls out to the right and like launches it. And, he toe tapped on the sidelines. And then he had another one where he caught like a 8-yard pass and kind of yacked it for a bunch. But I looked into this a little more, and on the season, he has 34 targets. Only 2 total targets have gone for 20 plus air yards this season. Only 3 total targets have gone for 15 plus. So, in my opinion, like there's just regression due there. Like they want to use him as like an underneath guy. He has a 9-yard ADOT this year. So in my opinion, I just think this is too high. I don't think the matchup is that amazing. Like the Saints have given up 8 passes of 23 plus yards this year, but overall, just like his role in the offense, and I feel like regression coming in terms of target share. I think this is just way too high. Like this is up there with like Nico Collins. This is up there with like AJ Brown type players. And I just don't see that with Stephon Diggs over the course of the season.
Oh, for sure. No, this is a great bet. You are selling high. Pop Douglas is barely playing anymore, like you said, and Diggs is mainly playing slot. It's like, a mix of Hollins, Booty on the outside. I think like some Kyle Williams here and there. Yeah. No, I agree with that completely. It's you're selling high. The dude's ADOT's been pretty damn low. He what else was I gonna say? Yeah, it's like the only thing really is like if like any quarterback who can like roll out of the pocket, you can kind of get burned by that, just like those like broken plays and stuff. But outside of that, dude, that's not his role. Like if he's gonna play like 55% of the snaps again, I would not be shocked if he had like a 5-target game with 80% of them mostly being underneath stuff, So like that's like very in the range of outcomes. And he was, he was just destined, I guess, to have a good game against a first game back in Buffalo. So, I completely agree. And even just like blindly taking like the under 60.5, I don't even hate that either. Like I think that, just fading Diggs here is probably going to be you're probably getting a good number on it. So.
And I think this is probably positive game script for the Patriots, right? Like where they're not looking to just throw a bunch.
Yeah, but maybe they don't trust the run game much.
True, that's true.
So that was one of my first looks was May passing attempts. I'm like, dude, like if they what is it at 30.5? I don't hate that, but I think May's rushing yards opened at like 19.5. Like
I saw that also.
Yeah,
felt low.
Look at some like Saints scramble data or something. Check that out. All right, final attempt, dude. And Joel, you're gonna like look at this one and probably dislike it at first, but I really like this one. This is like a nerdy data play, but I think that it's like actually like a pretty damn good bet. Taking Javonte Williams under 17.5 rushing attempts, minus 106 at FanDuel. I got it at. Let's see what it's at now. I gave this one out like very recently, so. Javonte rushing attempts. Look, it's moved like 8 cents or so. Still love that there. So, Joel, since week 2, the Panthers' run defense has been the best in the NFL at success rate against running back rushes. So, if you exclude sneaks and scrambles, success rate, they are the best in the NFL, which is crazy, right? They're also 9th best in EPA. But I think success rate's like the more relevant number when you're betting a rushing attempts line, because like if you success rate measures like, did you get 4 yards at least on 1st and 10? It's like, no. Okay, well, if you don't get 4 yards, you're not going to run it again on like 2nd and 9, most likely, right? 2nd and 8, you're going to pass it this time. So if you're just not having success running the ball very often, most teams just select to go pass heavy, and I expect that to be the case with, Dallas, given that they have maybe the best passing attack in the league, one of the best at least. So yeah, Panthers run defense has been sneaky really good. Since week 1, we look at some rushing attempts versus the Panthers. Trey Benson and James Conner combined for 14. Bijan and Algier, that was a kind of wacky game. They combined for 14 as well. The Pats' 3 running backs, they combined for 22. They obviously kicked the shit out of the Panthers. And then Achane and Ollie Gordon combined for 13 attempts. So it's like, that's kind of the success rate effect, right? Like if you're just not getting consistent yardage, you're just not going to run the ball a ton. So Javonte, you're also looking at this chart, right? He went over twice. Well, that's also bullshit because in regulation, he had 15 carries against the Eagles. He only had 14 regulation carries against the Giants. He only had 17 against the Packers, which is impressive because they're a good run defense, but still didn't have 18 in regulation. And then 10 versus the Bears, 16 versus the Jets. Yes, Miles Sanders is out, but I think that Jaden Blue is just pretty much going to play that role, get like the same amount of attempts that Sanders would. So I'm not really sweating that too much. And the last thing I'm going to add on this is like the Panthers are getting Coker back. Leggett obviously is back. Jatavion Sanders is back. I think that Coker is a pretty good receiver. I think that Sanders is like a fine tight end. Like honestly, dude, like against the Cowboys defense, I kind of think that like this Panthers offense just getting back to full health basically will be competent. I don't think it's going to be like a crazy bad game script, especially in Carolina. So yeah, Javonte under 17.5 attempts.
Difficult not to be against that defense. We'll just say that first. But yeah, I mean, I even saw a quote earlier from Stephen Jones saying like they love what Jaden Blue is going to bring to that backfield. It's like he's like so explosive. It's just something that they, haven't had in that backfield. So I could even see Jaden Blue carving out more of a role than Miles Sanders had. So yeah, I like this, and the success rate.
The what?
Yeah. So pause. The success rate. The success rate stats.
The sex rate.
You gave the sex rate. The success rate stats that you gave. That's good stuff too as well.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
can't argue with that stuff.
Dude, the Panthers like turnaround on the run defense is just like not baked into this line whatsoever. Like, I mean, I was checking out success rate stuff and like just like for the whole season, I'm like, dude, how are because they're like fourth for the whole season. I'm like, dude, how the hell are they fourth for the whole season? Like this run defense sucks. And then I took out week 1. I'm like, dude, they're number 1. Like, okay, let's look at some. So, dude, I'm like the corresponding dude. Like, I don't know, Joel, if you like any like Dallas overs and stuff to the pass game, but like I think that that's a good way to play it too. Like I know your boy Jalen Colbert.
Yeah.
Yeah, your boy.
I think he stinks, but like I mean, still, it's like, and I'll just say, sex rate might be one of the most important stats for a run defense.
Yeah, dude, how much they be pounding that thing. Anyways. Yeah, but like Dak too, dude. Like, dude, because like the Panthers have the worst pressure rate defensively. So it's like Dak with a clean pocket, downfield routes can develop. Like Pickens, dude. Like I know Waddle has had like a really good game. Like Pickens, he's I guess a buy low, like 4.5 receptions. Is that? That's pretty damn juiced. But yeah, dude, if anyone here was like strong leaning on Dallas stuff, like honestly, dude, I think that there's a lot of pass volume in this game, and even like Bryce Young passing yards. Like, what's your take on Jalen Coker? Like, do you think he's a impactful player? Do you think he's like a good player or no?
I like Jalen Coker. I think he's definitely better than Xavier Leggett.
Yeah, he for sure is.
And I'm a little worried about how much he's going to play. Because I was looking at his lines, like that feels pretty low to me, 27.5, especially if he's sliding in the slot. But
he will.
It's just interesting. I don't know how much he's going to actually play off that injury. I could see him even like taking Leggett off the field some plays too.
Yeah. Well, I think for sure. In like 2 tight end sets, or maybe that's just like where they rest him. I think that like, dude, Jalen Coker, I might play this over, to be honest, dude. Like I kind of dig it. Dude, like I don't know like what they're like edging about Coker. It's like, dude, he's been a full participant like since like Wednesday. Like, oh, we got to take it down to the wire. Like for what, dude? He's been like been like a full participant in practice. So
full participant usually just means you're suiting up too.
Yeah, dude. Especially since like Wednesday, like, and there's been no setbacks. Like I don't get that. So, dude, if that's
they're trying to catch the Cowboys off guard, dude.
Yeah, like sneaky. Canales is trying to be sneaky, I guess.
Yeah, sneaky down. It's like the sneaky downfield hunter stuff where. They tweeted it before the game, but
yeah. Why was
they did throw it too. That was hilarious.
Dude, I bet like in like the huddle before the game, they're like, okay, guys, I guess like keep an eye out for Travis Hunter running deep. They said they're gonna do it, so like shit.
They did it, and it somehow worked.
Yeah, like I don't know how shit like
Did
that
you
gets
see the
leaked.
quote after the game too, where Travis Hunter was like, "Yeah, I practiced that route like 20 times after practice too, just to make sure I had the timing right." Like that's like the only route in the playbook they have for him going down more than like 20 yards.
I don't know. So, dude, the Panthers have 3 guys who are full participant in practice that they're all questionable. So, dude, I think that's just like a gimmick that they're doing. Like, I don't know who they're fooling, but I think that Coker is absolutely gonna play. And, dude, against Dallas, like, I mean, shit, like, can he like not get 3, like, I don't know, 27.5 yards? I think he's pretty good, bro. Like his yards per route run was like really, really good last year, which is pretty predictive usually. But
I think he's really good as well. And none of that's with Tet though, which is like what throws it off. So you have to like kind of project just how good will he be. He should be the second option in the offense. Let's
well,
just
in
like
theory, bro, in theory, he should be more efficient though with Ted there,
true
right?
pulling
So like maybe volume
some
maybe
attention.
goes down, but yeah. Okay, well that's gonna do it, guys. I guess I have one final thing that I want to bring up to you guys on this video. Joel, I am like torn, dude. What is your take on the Chargers backfield this week? Because Miami's run defense is like really, really bad,
Horrible.
but the Chargers run game is also like really, really bad with especially, without Alton Slater and then, without
Yeah.
Hampton. Dude, I think that this Haskins Vidal rushing line is like way off. I think that Vidal should be higher than Haskins, and it's pretty significantly like pricing him in as the 1B. Like kind of like similar to the Stevenson thing. Like sure, like he might end with more attempts because he's obviously going to be the short yardage back, but like Haskins like stinks, dude. Like I mean like why are you handing the ball off to him on like 1st and 10 at the 20, dude? He's going to get you like 2 yards. So like I think that like Vidal is gonna get like all the valuable rushing yard carries for the most part, or not all of them, but I mean, what's your take on this backfield thing? Because
Yeah,
like
I'm completely opposite of you. I just think they trust
really,
Hassan Haskins more. And Hassan Haskins, I mean, like to me, Hassan Haskins is like Gus Edwards to them last year.
okay,
And then Kamani Vidal would maybe be like J.K. Dobbins. And I think Gus Edwards was like the lead back to start the year. I just think just because Haskins has been there, I think they made their feelings known on Vidal last year, when they had injuries and, he just never really saw the field.
but he did.
But
He got carries over Haskins last year when Dobbins was out. But I mean, maybe to your point, that could be like, okay, well, we have Gus Edwards as our bruiser, so he's gonna be the guy, I guess. I don't know. I guess no, that is a fair point. I still think that Vidal maybe like a longest rush 9.5, dude. Like against the Dolphins.
I feel like I want to stay away from that running it. Like this is definitely the spot where you can find an edge if you could predict this correctly. I think they're just going to drop back and pass it a fuck ton of times because
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, the Dolphins defense is terrible against the run. It's terrible against the pass too. It's terrible all over.
Yeah. So Vlad, I checked out Vlad. Couldn't pull the trigger. I was a little bit butthurt after last week. But this is gonna be like the Lad game, dude. I can like guarantee it, and I'm just not gonna profit off of it because QJ has a hamstring too, which is always scary. Nice, bro. You hear that?
Yep.
Someone's
Every time.
someone thinks he's cool. Yeah, it's literally every fucking time. Okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Glad I got your take on that because I still might play it, but I'm not sure. Look at Jaden Blue getting the line. I feel like this is like something you're gonna sneak in on.
I might.
Yeah, he's good shit. Well, anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to drop a like, sub to the channel. Check out Joel on X at JG4President. Joel, is there anything you got before we dip?
Nah, just as always, appreciate you having me on.
Yep. Yes, sir. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Catch you guys next time.